I love the memes going around that are like she had earrings in that gave her the answers, and ABC gave her the questions. They gave her the questions? What questions did you think they were going to ask her at a presidential debate? Do you think they needed to give her the questions? It's gonna be about immigration. It's gonna be about the economy. It's going to be about abortion. Like, why the would you think they need to give her the questions? It just shows so much about Trump supporters that they are like, she couldn't possibly have known that they were gonna bring up the border. So anyways, I haven't watched this video, but I know that that Trump supporters apparently are losing their damn mind over something that Joe Rogan said in this video. So let's take a look at this. Apparently, Joe Rogan said something that was marginally nice about Kamala Harris, and that has resulted in many Trump supporters saying things like Joe Rogan should go to jail. Joe Rogan is a piece of garbage. Like, how many times this year are we gonna have like flip-flopping in the Trump camp? I mean, Kyle Rittenhouse, it only took him once, man. Kyle Rittenhouse said one bad thing about Trump. They spanked his ass, and he was like, never heard from again. Never heard from again. So let's take a listen to a little bit of Joe Rogan on the Joe Rogan podcast talking about this. 50 days, Redunk. We got 50 days, bro.
Before I say anything, I just want to say, whoever's helping her, whoever's coaching her, whoever's the puppet master running the strings, you did a fucking amazing job.
She did a great job.
They did an amazing job from the moment Biden drops out, forcing Biden to drop out.
Wait a minute. That's not like, I mean, is that really a compliment? I mean, it is a compliment because, I mean, if you understand anything about politics, you know that there are people that write the speeches. There are people that I mean, obviously Trump admitted that Tulsi Gabbard was helping him with his. And Laura Loomer apparently is the one who convinced him that he should tell people that people are eating dogs on the plane before the debate. But that didn't exactly sound like that. Like, are Trump supporters so goddamn sensitive that I mean, maybe he says more. Hold on. Let's see if he says more. What up, Dustin?
Forcing Biden to drop out.
What up, Dark?
Right, whatever they're doing, whoever's writing those speeches, getting her to deliver them, coaching her.
50 days, Redon. 50 days.
She nailed that one speech. She's like, say it to my face.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's cheering.
Yeah, she nailed it, dude.
And then
I mean, I guess this is now kind of like being a little bit, they are laying it on kind of thick. They don't know the Trump supporters right now are like, no, Joe, no. There's ketchup hitting walls. People's wives are getting beaten, allegedly. Somebody's dog just got kicked. The N-word just got spewed all over the... Joe Rogan's an N-word! You know that shit's happening.
right. To me, when I was like, oh my God, this is jiu-jitsu, where she's like, if you go to his rallies, his crowds are boring, they're tired, they all leave early. My crowds are the best crowds.
Dude, he's not wrong, though. How are you going to be mad about that? Like, even the person that was watching the debate with me that was like a Trump supporter was like, yeah, that was pretty bad. See, this is why people can't get along with Trump supporters. This is why Trump supporters end up being like this little like clique, this cult of people. Because like after the Biden debate, like I was like, it kind of sucked. The dude wasn't there. Hopefully it was just a bad night. Man, the cognitive decline was really showing. Oh, he had a cold. Why the fuck would you let him go on with a cold then? It's past his bedtime. Why would you let him go on past his bedtime? Fucking Titus, when Biden dropped out, Titus made that joke about that if he hadn't dropped out, that they were going to send him in an open top Cadillac to Dallas, Texas, you know, making a JFK joke. That shit was funny. It was funny. Trump supporters, you guys are so goddamn sensitive that Joe Rogan, who has spent like the last like year and a half saying shit that's marginally good about Trump and Trump supporters, is now saying something that was readily apparent to everybody that watched the fucking debate that the dude lost his goddamn mind. Kamala Harris literally was like, go to a Trump rally. It's boring. People get up and leave. And he was like, no, it isn't. She's lying. Like, if you didn't see that, if you watched that debate and that's not what you saw, I can tell you who actually is suffering from Trump derangement syndrome, okay? Like, just admit it. This is why people think you're weird. If you're a Trump supporter and you're capable, like I said, I talked to a couple that were like, dude, that was really bad. Why does he just talk about himself? Why doesn't he talk about what he's going to do? Like, there was actually, like, criticism from this girl that was a Trump supporter on that debate. And I was like, good job. Hey. I would shake your hand. I'd give you a hug if I was anywhere close to you. Okay? Good job. But the majority of Trump supporters just, like, wig the fuck out and act like it didn't happen. And they're like, Haitians eat dogs! It is real. It's true. They said it on X. That's how I know it's true.
Crowds are the best crowds. I have the number one crowd.
She triggered the fuck out of him.
And she got him. She baited him on that.
What up, Oxford? What up, Spikin? What up, R's wife?
See, the difference in that debate was not a difference in, like, who's going to have better policies, who's going to be better for the country.
This is an old episode.
The difference in the debate, in my opinion, was who was better prepared.
Mm-hmm.
She was way better prepared.
Yeah.
And even when it came to answering tough questions,
dude, I love the memes going around that are like, she had earrings in that gave her the answers, and ABC gave her the questions. They gave her the questions. What questions did you think they were going to ask her at a presidential debate? Do you think they needed to give her the fucking questions? It's gonna be about immigration. It's gonna be about the economy. It's going to be about abortion. Like, why the fuck would you think they need to give her the questions? It just shows so much about Trump supporters that they are like, she couldn't possibly have known that they were going to bring up the border. She couldn't have possibly known that they were going to bring up the economy. How did she have answers for these questions? That says so much about you and your candidate. She doesn't need fucking earpieces. She doesn't need questions given to her. I could have went on that debate and won that debate. People are so fucking dumb. It is literally, I keep saying this, and this is going to be, I swear to God, a central part of this show forever. It's not the government. It's the people. People are dumb. The fact that you are, like, on X, like, sharing memes about she got the questions just proves that you are a moron. Is this the first debate you've ever seen in your life? Jesus Christ. It's insane. It's insane to know that these people exist and they vote. It's insane.
Instead of answering, she would just say things that she believes.
Yeah, sure.
And they sounded real good.
Yeah, that's
a soundbite.
Sorry,
being a savvy politician.
It's also called being someone who's working with a team.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, God damn it, Joe. Like, all you had to do is say yes to what he just said. It's called being a savvy politician. Like, this is the weird part about all this MAGA shit, is that we've all agreed forever that politics is a dirty game. We've all agreed that shady shit happens. We've all agreed that a lot of times people run on shit, never follow through on this stuff, right? Like, we agreed on all of these things. And then all of a sudden, Trump supporters are like, can you believe this stuff is going on? It's crazy. No, it's not. Like, this is literally what people do. I've been saying this since the jump. The only reason that Donald Trump is getting wrecked the way he's getting wrecked in politics is because all these other politicians knew going into it, yo, if you got skeletons in your closet, keep that shit hidden. Yo, if you did some bad shit, you might want to, like, pay some motherfuckers to say you didn't. Yo, and you don't tell people about it. You don't, like, and it worked for Trump at the very beginning. He came out and he was like, yeah, I did all that shit. Ha-ha! Fucking cheated on my taxes. Bunch of saps. You should have cheated on your taxes, too. That's right, I went bankrupt. I'm a billionaire, and I use those rules. And people were like, oh, shit. This guy's good. Because they're idiots. They're like, this guy's telling us he took advantage of us and just like been doing it for like 40 years. That's great. That's great. And all those politicians sat back and were like, anybody want to tell him that he's not supposed to tell us all that shit? And everybody was like, no, don't tell him that. Let him keep talking. And he kept talking. And he kept telling on himself. And he kept giving people evidence. And then he started sharing it in tweets. Then he started text messaging at people. Then he started emailing them it. Donald Trump is a fucking walking, talking crime scene. This shit just like falls out of his pocket on the ground behind him. He looks back at it and he's like, oh, more evidence. I'm just going to leave it there. Oh, is that a reporter picking it up? I don't really care. Wow, I'm being persecuted. I'm such a victim. People are dumb. People are dumb.
Versus
What up, Marty?
someone who's like,
I don't need
they
fucking-
said Trump, that deal was the best deal. They've never seen a deal like this before. They said, how did you put that deal together?
People thought that was just brilliant. Yeah, I know. He was like,
That's the he's not working with a team that's like, I mean, I know he's doing like mock debates. I know he did.
No, he's not. I guarantee he wasn't. This is why Joe Rogan used to be fun to watch when he talked to like scientists and shit like that, because he would just ask questions. Joe puts his foot in his mouth when he starts trying to like suss out the details of what's going on behind the scenes. Donald Trump has been surrounded by people that are yes men, not just since he's been in politics, but his entire life. I guarantee you, yeah, there are probably smart people around him. Hell, even Tulsi Gabbard was probably like, make sure you talk about the conviction rate. Make sure you bring up the fact that, people got put in jail for weed. All of these things. And I was even before the debate, I was like, God damn it. If they bring this up, I hope she points out her record. If they bring this up, I hope she points out that the DNA evidence with that guy, what that guy did. Like, I was like concerned because a lot of times these politicians, what was it? There's one question that he asked her that I thought she flubbed. And he said, will you say that you will allow abortions in the 7th, 8th, and 9th month? And she avoided that question. And I was like, no, fucking say yes. Just say it. Because you will. But all you have to do is follow it up with the qualifier. If the mom's life is in jeopardy, if the child will be born with deformities that will not allow it to survive. Like, just explain your answer. But she wouldn't answer it, right? Like, those are the things I was concerned were going to happen. But I guarantee you, like, Tulsi Gabbard, whoever else was behind the scenes that was talking to him and saying, like, hey, make sure you answer. I have a little bit that I did on my last video where I was like, he's looking at his phone the whole goddamn time. Just Tulsi's, like, yammering in the background. And he's like, yeah, whatever. Sounds good. Have you seen this on Twitter? They're eating cats. Like that, Joe Rogan, and even I gave Trump way too much credit for way too long. And Joe Rogan's giving him way too much credit here. Donald Trump went on that debate thinking, I'm going to fucking kill it. All I have to do is say they're eating dogs, and then everybody's going to believe me. You know why? Because Donald Trump is surrounded by a bunch of fucking idiots that look at him and go, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They're eating dogs, sir. Yeah, you are right. Yeah, Haitians are bad people, sir. All of those things. That's why. It's not, she is smarter than Donald Trump. She is more experienced than Donald Trump. She is more professional than Donald Trump. She is a better leader than Donald Trump. She is a better listener than Donald Trump. She is a better talker and communicator than Donald Trump. That's why. It isn't fucking rocket science. Donald Trump's an idiot. He doesn't listen to anybody. Kamala's smart. Kamala has a team. She's a professional. That's how simple this shit is.
I think he did one with Tulsi Gabbard, but someone needs to like tell him.
Oh, I realize that, Redong, but I want to hear
these tiny little windows, and you should have all the words ready for those windows.
He started
there should
out
be no repeating things.
Yeah, he started out.
See, that part, right? What he just said right there. There should be no repeating things. Has Joe Rogan never listened to a Donald Trump speech? He's like a fucking scratch CD. He just repeats the same shit over and over again because he's only got like 6 words in his memory. So he just says the same thing. China. What did he say? Transgender immigrants in prison getting surgeries. Like that sentence is like an amalgamation of all the things that he usually says, and they just somehow got meshed together inside of his brain, and then it just flowed forth. He just brought like the 4 thoughts he had, and he fucking mixed them together like a KFC bowl with like mashed potatoes, corn, and macaroni and cheese. He just stirred it all together, and what came out was transgenders, immigrants in prison getting surgeries. The man said, your kid can go to school and come back a different gender. Why are you sitting there going, if Trump would have done this or Trump would have done that, this all would have came out differently? Trump has always done this thing. I feel like these people have never watched a Trump speech ever in their life. This is just what Trump has always done. God damn it. It's so insane. Anyways. Has Rogan never talked to women? That's a good question. I don't think he's allowed to. Wife might not let him. What up, Gen X George? What up, AJ? What up, Scott? Yeah, I guess it does make sense. Scott says the more Trump repeats it, he feels it melts into MAGA brains. He's probably right. He probably does know his target audience. You're probably correct. I'm probably, like I said, a lot of times I give people too much grace, too much faith. I'm like, I want to believe that people can assimilate information and that they can like think their way through problems and topics and stuff like that. And I should know better than that. But I've just managed a lot of people in my life, and I've seen people grow. I've seen people go from being the 18-year-old straight out of high school that thinks he's super confident, that has all these like issues with like assimilating into the reality of being in the workforce and stuff, and grow into this like adult and become like a really like responsible person that's capable of communicating and working and fixing his problems. So I tend to, that's what I think I base a lot of like my opinions off of. And then just the general populace just absolutely destroys any faith I have in people's intelligence. It just truly does. So anyways, let's take a look at a couple of the responses. Jake Believe says, what is Joe Rogan thinking? Not doing his research. The word research needs to just be cut out of the human language. I have heard do your own research so many times that the next time somebody says do your own research, I am going to punch them in their Adam's apple. I can't do it anymore. One more person says the goddamn words, I don't care if they're on the left or the right, do your own research. They are getting a knife hand. Right in the Adam's apple. Not doing his research, making fun of Trump, pointing out that people are eating cats, while simultaneously talking about how Kamala Harris did such a good job by deflecting all of her questions and answering them with answers that had nothing to do with the question. Jake did not watch the debate. It's such a pivotal moment in life and history for Joe Rogan to start making huge mistakes now that also very much look like he was paid to say them. I was a huge Joe Rogan fan. Insane. You like how it's always he's been paid to say them? Meanwhile, they're like, hey, look over here at Tenet Media that literally took money from fucking Russian Today. Like, we have all this evidence that they literally gave $10 million to all these influencers to get them to say pro-Russia stuff. And they're like, there's no evidence. But Joe Rogan gives like a half-ass compliment to Kamala Harris, and like half-ass makes fun of Donald Trump. None of that was that bad. That was the most fucking kid gloves criticism I've ever heard in my life. And this guy's saying, he's getting paid. This is why no one takes you seriously, Trump supporters. This is like why people think you're weird. You're weird because somebody with kid gloves on slightly criticizes your fucking Messiah, and you're like, they're shills, they're being paid. Jesus Christ, I can't wait for you guys to go away. It's crazy. The adults in the rooms can't have a conversation. We can't have a conversation. Because you're like, well, you think they're eating the dogs? I bet they're getting paid. They're getting paid by ABC. Why the fuck would ABC pay them? Mr. Sun Life says, put Rogan in jail. He's not one of us. We're born to ride for 45. Donald J. Trump, in true Trump fashion, in all capital letters. You gotta love the all capital letters. Put Rogan in jail. He's not one of us. I wonder why people think these people are insane. I don't know. Can you guys tell me why people think these people are insane? Anybody know? Can anybody point it out to me? I don't get it. I don't get why anybody would think these people are insane. Then you had Candy. I don't trust anybody that has 17 numbers after this, so this is probably a bot, to be honest with you. Candy, 87288376. That might be her prison number, though. You know, we don't know. Might be her prison number. Says, trust me. Trump knows what he said. I'm going to have to, paraphrase a little bit because she can't type. Trust me. Trump knows what he said. Keep your enemies close. I've been telling everybody, Vance and all the Congress and all the FBI, all of them, everybody that thinks they're the good ones better think twice. Tucker Carlson's bad. Joe Rogan, all of them. Once again, this is the weirdness. Those three comments just give you a bit of an idea of what the spectrum is for these people. You've got the guy who thinks he's intellectual, that thought he was a Joe Rogan supporter, that went a little bit too far down a couple rabbit holes, now thinks anybody that disagrees with him obviously is a paid shill. So you had that guy, okay? Then you had the he's not one of us, ride or die, 45, put him in jail. And there's that guy. And then there's Candy, who's like, everybody is a foreign operative except for Donald Trump. Tucker Carlson, Joe Rogan, J.D. Vance. Everybody needs to go to prison but Donald Trump. But we're totally not fascists. We believe in authoritarian, complete executive control. But we're totally not fascist. Not fascist at all. Oh, Jesus. What up, Cajun? I'm having a good time right now. What up, real life? 0 to crazy in 0.01 seconds. Exactly.